Welcome back to another video with REI Basics. This one is looking at PropStream again, and this time we're looking at the List Automator Add-on and one of the unique features of that add-on. So if you're not familiar with it, PropStream has additional services. Right now, their main one is the List Automator Add-on. So this is another $27 a month on top of what you pay normally, the $97 a month. So this is an additional feature, and the main function of it is to automate lists so that as a lead no longer meets your criteria, it drops off of your list, or if a new lead meets your criteria, it is added to your list. So that's the main feature, but that's not what this video is talking about. We're going to talk about a specific feature, which is the import function. So what this allows you to do, you need to have the List Automator add-on to do this, but you can take an external list. So if you purchased a list off ListSource, let's say, or you have an old list from another source of old leads you want to look through again, or you scraped a new list from somewhere else, which is what I'm going to show you today. So I've gone to Zillow and I've circled my target market here in the DFW area, and today I'm looking at rentals. So in Zillow, I put in some criteria to limit my number of results. So this is for rent with a price of 1.2 to 2.4 thousand a month, 3-bed, 2-bath or more, houses only, and I want these to be newer houses. So I put in the age of the house to be 2011 or later. That's because my specific model, I'm looking for subject to transactions. So I want houses that are newer, don't need a lot of work. So this is not the traditional wholesale model, although you could do the same thing for that model. You probably just change out that date there. You may be looking for older homes instead of newer homes. So I've scraped this list. There's a bunch of different ways you can do that. You can pay services to scrape the list for you. Personally for me, I use the Chrome extension Open Web Scraper. The downside of this is you have to build it out yourself, and it's a little bit time consuming to get your scraper up and running. But once it's working, you can use it for free. And what that gives me is these 127 results, and I get it in an Excel spreadsheet. So in order to put it into PropStream, you have to get it split into this specific criteria. You need to have the street address, the city, the state, and the zip code, and then you can have any additional field there. They're just worried about that first 4 columns of data. So you have to rearrange it that way, and then you go into PropStream, and under your My Properties tab, yours may look like this. If you don't have List Automator, some of these features will be grayed out, specifically the import list function. So that's what we're looking at today. So if I hit import list, I can download the template, which is going to show me what my file needs to look like I just talked about. I'm going to choose a file. You can see a few of my previous ones there. I'm going to choose that file that I just showed you. Prepared it already. Create a new list that I want to save this to. Demo rentals DFW, and save. Depending how many leads you put in here, this may take a little while. With 127, it shouldn't take too long. Now, some of them will come back failed because they didn't have the appropriate data or PropStream couldn't find them. So I got 111 of the 127 properties. Now, an important thing to note is that 111 counts towards my monthly upload. So my monthly saved is the same as my monthly import. So if I import 10,000 leads, then I can't save leads that I would find through the other methods through PropStream. So that's really important. If you download a list of 10,000 or more leads and try to import it, it's going to cut into that 10,000 leads per month that you can find and save through list building on PropStream. So now that I've got my list, I can close out of here, and under my marketing list, you will see Demo Rentals DFW. Now, the reason this is important is now I can look at PropStream's filters based on all this data. So across the top here, based on my 111 properties, I can see that 33 of these are on market. Now, that doesn't mean for sale. So a lot of these will be on market as rentals. So I click on market. When we look at the market price, so if we look at market price, for example, this first one is $2,000. Obviously that's a rental and not a for sale situation. Now there's some pending and contingent actual sale properties here. So this may be interesting to look through. Some of these, if I sort this by dollar amount, you see a lot of those are rentals, like I was saying. But the first 9 of these look like they're actually for sale. Now most of these are, one of them is active, most are contingent or pending. So these are under contract already and probably already showing up as rentals even though they have not closed yet. But one of these is actually actively for sale. So that, if I'm looking for someone that has a rental that's also looking to sell, bingo, I found somebody right there that is looking to sell and has a rental. Now, similarly, I can see across the board here, I can look at high equity. So I can look at, of those 111, 69 of these are high equity. So maybe it's a tired landlord situation. They've been renting for a long time. I can look through, see what percentage of equity, see if it's owned free and clear. If I look way over here on the right, 65 of these properties are owned free and clear. So these are free and clear properties that are currently on the market as rentals. Now, when I say on the market, they may not be on the MLS, but they're on Zillow as rentals. So they're vacant properties right now, and 65 of them are free and clear. So I could offer owner financing, perhaps even a traditional wholesale price these people might be interested in. They might not, the property might not be in market condition for a sale, but coming in with a wholesale price, maybe that's a situation that can work. You can look also, two of these properties has liens. So I'm looking at a property on Zillow that's for rent and come to find out that there's liens against it. They may be in a position where they would be happy to sell. And one of these is actually negative equity. So it shows that they owe more than the property is worth. So that can be a really helpful situation. Now, interestingly, it doesn't show up as vacant. Now, we know that all of these properties are vacant because they're up for rent. But vacant is based on the United States Postal Service, USPS definition of vacant. So when someone has not answered their mail in 90 plus days, they go on the USPS vacant list, and that's what vacant in PropStream means. It doesn't necessarily mean that no one's in the house. Like we know there's nobody in most of these most likely because they're up for rent, but it hasn't been that 90 days where nobody's answering mail. So that's where people get confused with the vacant in PropStream and think, oh, the data is inaccurate. Well, you just need to understand what the definition of vacant is. So that's just about it. Now I can filter through these as these quick filters at the top, but I could also filter through each of these columns here. So if I want to see listings that failed on the MLS, there's 5 properties that failed on the MLS. Now I need to look back at these dates. One of these failed just this year. So just this January, they had it listed for $325 and it didn't sell, and now it's up for rental. Would this be somebody that might be interested in selling their property? Heck yeah, they already tried to and they weren't able to. Now they're just trying to rent it. So, they're just trying to cover their butt here. Perfect situation, somebody to look into. So this is the power of importing your list. And again, you can import your list from anywhere that you scrape the data, any list that you previously bought. It could be a list of people that you've already called before, already sent marketing to, and now want to follow up with. And what PropStream data allows you to do is take that list and apply their filters. They can sort through it for you, show you what criteria these properties fall into. We can look at how much is owed on the property. We can look if there's liens. We can look at all sorts of data and then find the most likely to be motivated. So I'm going to be following up with this first one here because they're likely to be motivated. They had a failed listing recently and now they're just trying to rent it. So that's a perfect candidate. So I hope this video is helpful. Again, you need to have the List Automator Add-on. And that add-on is, again, starts at $27. And then depending how many lists you automate, and this isn't automating your list. This is a separate feature within the List Automator to be able to import your list. But you can automate your list. You can see at the top here, I can hit Automate List. And then based on the criteria that your list has, those properties would be updated when properties no longer meet it or new properties do meet your criteria. So List Automator itself can be very powerful, but this list import feature I think is hugely undervalued. I think this is potentially a really powerful piece of the software that a lot of people don't know about. So again, you can check out your free trial. There's a 7-day trial. If you click on my affiliate link in the description below, I really appreciate it. It helps support this channel and helps me put out more tutorials like this. So if you have any questions, hit me up in the chat. I'd be happy to help.